Hello YouTube. Today I wanted to rehash the gallery that I made. I think it was yesterday or the day before I published a video on it. Well, I didn't make it. I just used the Lightbox off of W3 schools. Uh, there are a few issues with that. If you have multiple galleries on the same page, it doesn't work. At least not right and stuff like that. So I just wanted to address those shortcomings by making my own from scratch. So first things first, we need to make the gallery on the page here. I'll open these two. So I'm going to start this by, I don't really want any white space here if I can help it. That's what the dashes do in that. The double curly braces just signifies Hugo code. Then we're going to instantiate gallery. Then we are going to use the index function of Hugo so that we can customize what gallery we're pulling in. So the content file has two different galleries. It has mountains and it has the trees gallery. And that's going to test this ability to do multiple different galleries. So we're going to pull from the page instance, and we're going to do params and gallery. Then we got to do a sub function. Then we're going to run the .get function and the short code and get the zeroth index. So that's the first thing that you put after the declaration uh, of the short code. And now we can just do a div, and I'll just give this a class of gallery. We don't have to specifically identify this, and then we'll use a range function. Then we're going to range the gallery that selected earlier. Then we got to do an end statement. Then we're going to do an image tag. And the source of that is going to be the thumb. String or whatever, so it's going to be this. That's what it will grab. The alt will be the caption. And then and after that, we're just going to do data and image. And then that is going to be the image. Now we should be able to declare the shortcode gallery and mountains. And now we should be able to also do and now we have a range of mountains and a range of trees. So so now let's do a little CSS. My theme does resources match, so it pulls in any CSS files. So like if I go into theme, I might publish this sometime, but it's a little skeleton theme that I bought. And then layouts and partials had like for CSS files, it's pulling resources.match, so it's getting any CSS file in the CSS folder. So even if I specify one up here, it'll load them in alphabetical order and then put them in the and it's also the same thing for the JavaScript files as well. So I just put like a number in front to make sure it's in order. But we'll just let's do a display of grid and we'll do a repeat of an auto fit. and we'll make those go a little smaller, like 250 pixels wide. Oh, it's gotta be auto dash fit. That's why. There we go. Now we'll do and so that should make them aligned and center them. So now it makes it responsive, so they should do that. Then we can do I might do what you want to call it, class. So we can select them later at least. And I'll just do so then that kind of gets the point through that they're clickable for anyone on their computer. I have to check up what my cat's doing here. So anyway, that at least makes it look like it's clickable there. So now we can start building the modal here. So we'll do so we'll make a modal container here, and then we'll do the close button. And we'll just put an X in there for now. And then we're not going to bother with the source and alt right now because we're going to be changing that in JavaScript later. Then we're going to do another div of was able to get the film strip working later. I wasn't able to get previous and next buttons working on it, so that will probably come with a later edition. So now we'll do another an anonymous function here. And we're going to do some selections there for the modal. So here for the modal container, we'll do style, and so that we can change that later. So just get all of our stuff here. So I'll just change these here. The main's going to be the all CSS pretty much, so we shouldn't need to change that. We'll need to do the caption. And we will need to do the film strip. And we'll set a few functions. So we'll go function open modal. That should be it for that one then. Oops. So that should reset the stuff when close modal is run. So that's pertaining to this gallery image class. Then for let I equals 0, I until I is or while I is less than gallery images dot length. Then each time increment I once. And we will each time that's run, we'll grab the index of gallery images and we'll add an event listener. Then that'll be the click. We're gonna make that a function and pass in the event. And there's going to be a few reasons why we're going to do this. So we'll just do open modal for now. So now if we uh, forgot to put the modal in. We gotta put the modal shortcode in. So now the modal opens up, but there's no styling really. We'll worry about that later. We'll just get the JavaScript hashed out. Probably before gallery images. We'll probably do shouldn't need to pass in anything. So now that's set. Cool. So now the modal opens and closes. Okay, function. Oops. Let's see. Probably should pass in. Oh, we'll just go element. So we'll just do something like nope, just image. And we'll do That's got to be the inner HTML. And the inner HTML, the parent element. And we'll do as it should be the same as that. And so that should do that, and then we'll just because we gotta add the event listener to that. Or actually, I might leave that out of that because we can just use the same element for the film, or the same function for the film strip. We shouldn't have to reuse that part of it, so leave that out. So now we should be able to do a change image, then we'll just pass an e.target. So clear that out. So now it changes that image caption, and it puts the film strip on there, and then if you click that, it'll change it. So now we gotta add it to the film strip images, so actually we'll make that whole thing separate, so we'll just cut that. Then we'll do function and then we'll increment after each one, and then we'll just we'll do film strip items with the index of I dot add event listener, and we'll make that click. and E just so that we can put that into the change image. And we'll just so now when we do this, the logic should work. So we should be able to click each one and on the film strip and it'll change. So I think that pretty much concludes all the logic. Now we just gotta do some styling. So yeah, we should be able to style it all by ID now. So uh, so on gallery.css we'll go and we'll do a position of fixed. Do a top uh, of 0 and the left of 0. Then we'll just set a width of 100% and a height of 100% as well. Then we'll do a Z index. We'll set that something high like 1,000, just to make sure it's on top of everything else. And we'll just do a background color, and we'll just set to black with a slight transparency. So now that should one thing I hate about these battery powered headsets is they just shut themselves off. So now the modal is on top of everything. So now we just we'll do modal close, and I'll do the same thing, position fixed, or yeah. And we'll do that on we'll do it like 1.5 rem from the top, and then right, we'll also do that 1.5 rem. We'll make its font size something like 25 point, and then we'll just save that for now and see how it looks. Cool, I'll be right in the corner. We'll give it some padding. And border. And we'll just make that white. And we'll do a border radius of 50%. And that'll make it a circular button. And on top of that, we'll do make the cursor a pointer, and then we'll do user select none so people can't select it. So that way it's nice and big. Maybe I'll make the top and bottom padding a little bit less so it's more circular. Uh, so it's not as lopsided. There we go. A little bit better. We'll make a display of flex, flex direction column. And then we'll do well, actually gives a container a little bit of padding too. And we'll set a max width of like 80 dVh or dVw, display view width, and max height. We'll set that to something like 60 dVh, which is display view height. And we'll center these up. Just push it down from the top a little bit. We'll give the close button a little bit of a background color too. We'll do the same thing as the rest of the modal. That way, if you're viewing on mobile, you should be able to see that close button a little bit more. Maybe we'll give it a little bit more transparency. So make the opacity like a 9. There we go. So that X button is still visible, but over the picture. Now we gotta style the film strip. Make that 100%. And then we'll just I'm not sure what the defaults of flex are, so I'm just rapid firing what I want here. Uh, so we get that film strip look there. We'll do the same 125% here. Should be able to do something like that, and then that might push it up onto the image. Might be translate Y. And we can do, oops, forgot to put a semicolon there. You'll decrease that a little bit, make it 150. Or does it need the position relative, or? No, go minus 175. About perfect. I'll let the beholder change other things if they want to. So it looks good on desktop, but this is probably what it'll look on mobile. I mean, not horrible, but just to show that it is in fact Hugoized. Uh, we can add a couple of these. So I'll add a tree, and I'll add another one of mountains for good measure. So now if we refresh, you'll see one more got added to each thing. Might have to set like a max height on those images though. We'll change that to like 25 dVH. There we go. So that fixes that. So you can see one more tree got added to that. Then one more picture got added to this gallery as well. You shrink it up. You get a scroll bar here, or you can use your side scroll wheel on your computer to side scroll. And if you want to, you can add a little bit of a gap. I forgot that part. Just a little bit of a gap on the film strip. It'll make it look more like a film strip. And if viewers really need to get a closer look at the pictures, they can just do open a new tab like so. But that's at least how you do one from the ground up for Hugo. Like yeah, when I was playing around, I could not get the previous and next buttons working, but this works here. Uh, so you have the film strip on the bottom, and you can just use that, or if you want to widen it up a little bit too, you can just do max width to like 90. And on mobile, that should widen up quite a bit. And all these still work. So I guess that concludes this video. I'll probably put the code up. I might see if I can put it up as like its own its own like a theme or a short code library or something like that. So then that way people can just plug and play as long as they have a theme that uses a resources match. Uh, it should work. So I guess that'll be it for now. See you in the next one.